Howdy y'all, so you're thinking about relocating or moving to Plano, Texas. Well, these are the top 5 pros and cons of living in Plano. And we'll look at everything from the schools to property taxes. And hey, we might even answer the question of should you still buy a house in Plano? And before we go any further, don't forget, leave a comment down below. Let me know if you agree with this list or what you would add to it. And with that being said, we're getting into it right now. Hey ladies and gentlemen, if you're looking to learn more about what it's like living in Dallas, Texas, well, this is the channel that helps you do that. So I invite you to subscribe down below, tap the bell for notifications so that you can stay up to date on the current real estate market here in Dallas. We drop new videos every single week. My name is Jimmy, your local born and raised real estate expert advisor, and we're getting calls and emails every single day from people just like you who are ready to make that move here in Dallas, and we absolutely love it. So if you are thinking about buying or selling here in the Dallas area, be sure to reach out today so that we can help develop a tailor-made game plan just for you. So we're going to start our countdown of the top 5 pros and cons of living in Plano, Texas, with pro number 5, which is the school system. All right. You know, I grew up with many friends who lived in Plano, and the reason their parents chose Plano was mainly for the schools. You know, Niche.com ranked it as the 16th best school district in the entire state of Texas out of over 1,000 school districts. It was also ranked top 25 for diversity and even ranked in the top 10% for best places to teach as well. And when you look at the map, you see almost every individual school earning an A ranking, with most receiving an A+. However, even though the schools earn high rankings across the board, the one downside is the sizes of the classes are going to be on the larger end of the spectrum. Which brings us to con number 5, which are the big class sizes. If you live in Plano, you know what I'm talking about, but if you're moving to Plano, just be warned, the graduating class sizes of Plano West, Plano Senior, and Plano East were 1,300, 1,300, and 1,500 students respectively. But the good news is, as the city has grown over the last few decades, the city continues to invest in the school system, leading Plano ISD to earn A ratings in academics, its teachers, and activities, while earning an A+ rating in diversity and college prep. Of course, with big class sizes, there's going to be a correlation with a large population, which brings us to con number 4. Plano is massive. Okay, covering 72 square miles and a population of nearly 300,000. This means that if you're looking for that small town feel, yeah, Plano won't be on your list, okay? And because of its size, you know, it's easy sometimes to feel like you're getting lost in the crowd. But of course, there are ways to counter this. You know, it can be as simple as taking a walk around the block and visiting with your neighbors, to, you know, heading to one of the many amenities Plano has to offer, such as the Arbor Hills Nature Preserve or the Oak Point Nature Preserve, or heading to one of the shopping and entertainment meccas at Shops at Legacy and Legacy West that feature all sorts of places to, you know, grab a beer with a friend or even take in a local concert at Legacy Hall. But even though Plano is massive, when we go from the helicopter view down into the street, the individual neighborhoods of Plano tend to be pretty communal and pretty friendly, which brings us to pro number 4, the great neighborhoods. You know, Plano really did a great job of planning out the city with master planned communities that the likes of Frisco really followed in the footsteps of, right? In fact, they did such a great job that LawnStarter.com ranked Plano as the number 8 best city to be stuck at home. I'm sure you'll notice Frisco in the number 1 spot as well, which is, of course, Plano's neighbor to the north. Now, in general, the neighborhoods in Plano are as high quality as you'll find in the state of Texas. You know, you're likely to find multiple playgrounds, multiple pools, and plenty of sidewalk space to get your morning run in. So make sure to check out our video where we take a deep dive into the top neighborhoods in Plano, Texas. I'll add a link above my head and in the description down below if you want to check that out. And of course, if you're serious about moving to Plano, Texas, be sure to reach out today so that we can develop a tailor-made game plan just for you. Another reason that makes Plano neighborhood so attractive is the low crime rate in Plano, which brings us to pro number 3, the safety. In a recent poll, 96% of residents reported feeling either very safe, where there isn't much crime to speak of at all, or that if there is crime, it isn't impacting them very much, okay? Of course, where there is safety, there is probably a police presence enforcing those laws, and this can be a good thing. For example, in another recent poll, 71% of Plano residents reported the police as being very visible and responsive, but there is a flip side to that, as one of my friends explained to me in one of her cons of Plano, which will be con number 3, which would be that the cops are everywhere. So if you have a lead foot, you'll probably want to invest in a radar detector. You know, otherwise, speeding in any capacity won't be a very good idea. Of course, it isn't a very good idea in general, but I know we all do it from time to time for selfish reasons. But just remember that there are other people in this world who would like to get to their destinations in one piece, just like you and I want to. All right. Now, the reason why safety is so important to Plano is because of pro number 2, which is the great location. Listen, Plano is tough to beat from a location standpoint, as you can get pretty much anywhere within 20 or 30 minutes. You've got Frisco, Allen, and McKinney just north of you. Downtown Dallas, about 30 minutes away down south, and only 25 minutes to get over to DFW Airport. Not to mention, you've got 4 lakes within a 30-minute drive as well. And if you don't know about the lake life in Dallas, then you'll find out soon enough. Now, the downside is to get to most of these areas, you're probably going to have to pay for it, which brings us to con number 2, the tollways. In Plano, you're surrounded by them to the north, the south, and the west. Now, the best way to deal with this is to just get a toll tag, all right? Otherwise, they'll charge you more for going through the exact same toll and forcing them to mail you the bill. Of course, when we help you move, this will be a part of the detail moving checklist, which will show you how to get a toll tag. All right, now you do have Highway 75 on the east side, which is in fact a freeway, and you'll also have the DART train that runs parallel with a 75 over there as well. So if you work downtown, I know one of my buddies lives in the Legacy area that I mentioned and would drive over to the DART and take the train downtown to avoid rush hour both ways, right? So if you work downtown, that could serve as another viable option as well. But this is going to bring us to another expense that you're probably not gonna like, which is con number 1, the property taxes. All right, now this is mostly because the houses are so nice and in such a great location, but especially if you're moving to Texas from California, you have to remember, Texas has 0 state income tax and some other helpful programs like the homestead exemption, for example, so that you actually come out way ahead in the end. Okay, and we did another video that breaks all of that down. If you want to check that out as well, I'll link that down in the description also. Now, that, along with population increases, has allowed Plano property taxes to remain pretty steady on the lower end of the spectrum by Dallas standards over the last 10 years. And in exchange, Plano is providing great schools, great facilities, and great places to live. The good news is, most people in Plano have no problem viewing the property taxes as an investment because there are many high-paying jobs in Plano, which brings us to pro number 1, which is the strong economy. You know, Plano and Frisco are projected to have more square footage of office space than downtown Dallas in the next 5 years. And Plano is attracting some major companies to bring headquarters inside of its borders, such as Toyota Motors, JP Morgan, where I worked for a while, and Liberty Mutual, just to name a few. So if you want to move to Plano, well, what are your next steps? Well, we can't help you if you don't reach out. So give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email, jump on our calendar. If you want to jump straight to a Zoom with us, you know, that's our favorite, but whatever is easiest for you, you know we've got your back when making a smooth move here to Dallas or Plano, like we talked about today. And if you found this video helpful, please tap that thumbs up button down below. It would mean the world to us if you did that. Thank you so much. It keeps us motivated to keep making content for y'all. So make sure you subscribe as well. And don't forget to leave a comment down below and let me know if you agree with this list or what you would add to it. And if you're looking for more, then you should see some videos popping up on the end screen right now. They can definitely point you in the right direction. Of course, we've done a ton of different styles of videos on this channel covering just about every inch of Dallas. So whichever one of those is popping out to you, make sure you click on that. And until the next video, I'll see you around town.